Welcome. Our Good Shepherd taught us in John 15 that we can only bear fruit by abiding in Him. Our recent calendar episode for week 15 was all about sorrow being turned to joy, just like the lady in the field of flowers went from sadness over no fruit to great joy in bearing fruit. And our Good Shepherd is all about causing us to bear good fruit if we abide in Him. He added in John 15:11, "These things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full." I did a recent popular video on the woman watchman and how in the end times she fulfills her purpose and has great joy. That woman watchman bears good fruit because she's abiding in Yahusha. It's the season of the harvests, of inspecting them, of separating the wheat from the tares. And this series is going to fit into the theme of this time of year on the ancient biblical calendar. My husband asked me the other day what it means to bear fruit. Now, he's been reading the English Bible translations for decades with the common traditional understandings of what is taught about what that means. But this is Numbering the Days channel, and his wife studies and teaches the ancient Paleo Hebrew. So when he asked me this question, I dove into the words, and I'm so excited to be sharing what I was inspired and what was revealed to me. This series will be produced over the next few months, so be sure to subscribe and check the notifications so you will know when the next video is released. I'm going to do deep dives into the Paleo Hebrew of many of the words used in the fruit and vine parables to reveal to you what gems of understanding are there, what you can glean from it. We all need better fruit production and training for fruit inspection. If we don't know exactly what these words mean, how do we know we are bearing the fruit we need to be? Each part of this series is going to have a different focus and build upon the one before. This first video is going to lay the foundation for 4 key words: vine, husbandman, branch, and abiding. This video series will unfold the spiritual walk in the way following the Good Shepherd. Father is the vine dresser, the Son is the vine, and you are the branch. And the Ruach HaKodesh is the presence you receive in abiding. Why is it so important to be a fruit inspector? And I'll tell you why. There are false gods, false fathers, warnings aplenty in scripture about idolatry. Yahusha says he is the true vine, which means there's a false one, and you don't want to hear from him, "I never knew you." There are false spirits, evil spirits that can be received instead of the Ruach HaKodesh, and there are branches who think they are saved, but they are not. Just consider the fate of the unwise virgins or that fig tree that got cursed because it was never going to bear fruit again. So when I say we need to become fruit inspectors, I mean we need to discern the right fruit from the true vine that has been pruned by the real Father and has the true Ruach presence dwelling within. This is why Joshua asked me, what does it really mean to bear fruit? So let's get started on the first part of this series. Welcome to part 1. And in the introduction, I had mentioned John chapter 15. And this is the main text from Scripture that we're going to start with. It's where we're going to start in the series. It's not where we're going to end up necessarily, because I'm going to go into some of the other parables that talk about fruit. But this is where we're going to start. So in John chapter 15, I have highlighted here the words that we're going to define today in this video. It says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit." So we're going to define the vine and the husbandman word and the branch word. Okay? The bearing and the fruit words we're going to do in the next video. Now, ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same shall bring forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. If a man abide in me, he is not abide in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. As my Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. Okay, so this is where we're starting, and I'm going to continue on to the first word. We're going to do the word that was translated husbandman. And it's right here. I've got the Masoretic text up. It's kaf fresh mem here at the end. Remember, in Hebrew, we're going right to left. So when I went to the lexicon and I looked up the word husbandman in English, I do not see kaf resh mem. It's not in the list. There are four other words here that have all been translated husbandman as well. This is why we spend the time to dig into the Paleo Hebrew and define words. It's because multiple words, this happens a lot. Multiple words, sometimes 10s, 20s, 30s of words, 30 different words have all been translated the same way. So this is the husbandman word. And in the Greek text, it's the word G1092, Georgos, which is translated both as husbandman and vine dresser. And I want to include the use in James 5 below, because Father is waiting for his people to mature and receive the early and latter day rains, something that's important and talked about in prophecy. James 5:7. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahuwah. Behold, the husbandman, or the vine dresser, waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and the latter rain. Since this is since we're doing a Paleo Hebrew study and not Greek, I had to do some more digging, because the word in the Peshitta text is not listed above, but it is under vine dresser. When I searched for vine dresser, then it pulled up kaf resh mem, which is in the Peshitta text. So we're going to do a word study on the word that was in the Peshitta, which means pruner. In Greek, the Greek equivalent of this word means pruner, a dresser of a vineyard. Okay. So it's kaf resh mem, koraim. It's got two different Strong's entries for this same spelling. Remember, in our ministry and in our academy, we don't use the vowel pointing. We try to go and find the meanings before the Masoretic text and the vowel pointing came into being. So this means to tend vines, vineyards, vine dresser. And here's its word usage. It's been actually translated as the vineyard itself many times more than the vine dresser. So when we take apart this word, we have a prefix, kaf, like as. We also have a suffix that we could look at the end, the mem, there or them. And kaf resh is a word, you've got your Strong's numbers here for you, that means a male lamb, a battering ram, a saddle, a pasture, a round vessel to measure with dry or liquid. So its meanings are varied here. I wanted to say that a vine dresser is cutting things. You know, the pruning involves cutting. And it just so turns out that kaf resh, when you add a tav instead of the mem at the end, when you add a tav at the end, you get H3772, karat, which means to cut off, to cut down. And I just thought that was kind of interesting that the koraim and does the karotting to the vines. So that was kind of fun there. We also have in the three letters, we could look at the word resh mem, H7410. It means high, elevated, exalted, supreme. This is an interesting little root word because in the frequency of the word and its numeric value, it's equivalent with the great part of the Holy One, the great word, pearls, rejoining, attaching what was violated or broken. So I thought that was kind of an interesting tie-in here to the meaning of a vine dresser. I know they reattach those those things that have been cut off. That's talked about in Scripture. And anyway, so then we also have the fact that we also have a suffix kaf mem that is surrounding the resh. I like to look at seed words, and so the outer portion of this word, the two letters are actually you and your. It's a suffix. So when I looked at the components, I got things came to me like that would you would say like a high elevated or exalted something as an adjective. I also saw their ram, battering ram, or vessel to measure. Obviously, we get measured and tested by Father, the vine dresser. I also, when I looked at just the letters, I saw highest chief bringing support and servicing what is needed to the innermost place within you, or the highest chief imparts and plants Torah, seeds, into the innermost place within. And for purposes of this video and this series of videos, I've tried to come up with a one sentence complete meaning. And I came up with the highest supreme chief cares for, measures, tends, and supports the innermost place within. So that is the word for vine dresser. We'll continue to the next word. Now we're going to learn the vine that's being pruned, because in verse 1, Yahusha says, I'm the true vine. So here's the vine word. It's noon gimel, noon pay. Sorry. I'm just gimel, pay noon, geffen. Okay, I got it out right. Sorry, I'm having tongue twisted today. It's Strong's H1612. It means twining, a twining vine, or a vine tree. It's been only once was it even translated tree. Most of the time, it's all vine. So here we have a geffen. He's a vine. He's something that's twined with something. And the components of this one are gimel pei is the first root, two-letter root that we have here. It's both of these two-letter root words that are found here are both in Strong's and both in Klein's. So the first two letters is a root meaning to arch, the backside, the body of a person, the wing of a bird. And the last two, pei noon, in Arabic, it means the kind, specimen, or type of something, like the species, the kind. In Greek, this is a spelling in Greek. This is the word Pan, the mythological god. It's been translated as lest, not, beware, lest, something to be afraid of. Countenance, face, because if you add a yod to this, pei node, you get countenance and face. A root meaning to turn an angle of a street or wall, turning around the angle, turning around the wall of something. Okay. So when I looked at the components here, I came up with body of a person bringing forth abundant life, or sprouts. And I'm using the meaning of the letter as well because I have to. There's no components that will take up all three letters, so I have to bring in the meaning of the Yehudiath letter, the Paleo Hebrew. Endless energy for turning growth of a family or species. So if I looked at just the letters only, then I had endless energy flows as spring coming through a portal, as a spring, a flowing spring, coming through a portal to bring fruition, to bring to fruition that which was brought forth. Whatever's coming out is going to like spring forth with a bunch of life force behind it, and it's coming through a portal of some sort. Endless energy flows as springs of words, vibrations to mature, gathered together, lifted up on wings. That was another thing that when I was meditating on this word that came to me. So I've come up with in my one sentence here endless flowing springs of energy and words full of life for maturing to fruition, that kind which was brought forth, being gathered together and lifted up on wings. And you see, it's a long sentence, and I'm trying to grab hold of the various things that I saw in here to put it all in one sentence. So we would definitely say that that Yahusha, as a vine, certainly was given the ruach in abundance. I mean, he didn't have it in any kind of measure at all. And his words were full of life for maturing the people that he was ministering to his family. Okay. And he said, I came not only to the house of Yasharel, he was certainly ministering to a family and those that wanted to be a part of his family. And John wrote in John chapter 1 that Yahusha gave you the power to become a child of Elohim. So that would be you becoming a different kind, a child of Elohim. So that would be a part of this picture as well. Being brought together, if you're a branch on the vine, you are connected to him, and in that way we are being brought together. The lifted up on wings thing just reminded me of Yahuwah, in the Exodus saying, I brought you to me on eagle's wings. So that's where I got that. Now, I'll have to fix this in the PDF file. I'm sorry. The next word we're going to do is you are the branch. He's the vine, and you're the branch. So in John 15:5, you are the branch. And it is really popular. When I started studying 10 years ago, saw a bunch of videos on we are the Nazarene because of the word Netzer and Nazareth, and there's all kinds of words that are related there in that family. And I was really surprised when I pulled up the Peshitta text and I did not find the word Netzer here. He didn't say you are the Nazarene. He said you are the Seragim. It's Sheen, Resh, Yod Gimel, Yod Mem, making it plural. And so that was surprising to me when I did this. And the word Seragim is right here, H8299. It means a tendril, a twig, a branch, shoots or tendrils of a vine, not a tree branch, a grate and lattice. So there are many words that have been translated, as branch, but this word right here has been called branch 3 times. And it would be, if I were to have done a dictionary on this, I mean, I am creating my own dictionary, but I would say that it's a branch of a vine or a tendril or shoot of a vine. I wouldn't just say branch. And so some people who create videos and teach have assumed that that it was the word Netzer for Nazarene and went off on the watchman thing. So let's see what we see here about Seragim. Okay, Sheen Resh, the first 2 letters, is inclines, and it's got several, 2 different Strong's entries. Prince, chieftain, leader, ruler, chief, official, captain, ruler of rulers. So it's a princely, it's a person in charge and authority. Then we have Sheen Resh Yod, which also has Strong's entries. It's inclines. It means princess. Royalty with authority. Vine, tendril, twig, interlace, latticework, wicker. It's Sarah's name from birth. Her name was changed to Sarah, but before that it was Sarai. It was this word right here. She was a princess. She was a vine. Okay? And when I looked at this, I thought, Yahuwah had to tell Abraham, no, it's not going to be Hagar. and Ishmael. It's got to be Sarah, and her name actually means a vine and a tendril. And I thought, how interesting is that? Okay, in the word Sereg, we also have Resh Yod in the middle. If we looked at the seed word concept, Resh Yod means shower, watering, and moisture. So the branch, the vine, is getting moisture even from within itself. I thought that was interesting. And then the Sheen Gimel on the outside, which is not in Strong's, and in Klein's I had to go to Hay. I looked at Sheen Gimel Hay. There is no entry for Sheen Gimel for the root. Sheen Gimel Hay, which is the manifestation of it, means to grow in greatness, be elevated, be made great. So this is interesting. This is a very interesting word. When I looked at the components, I see to be elevated and grow in greatness from being watered within. If I added some of the meaning of the letters with the components that exist there, I see to be elevated and grow in greatness, from being watered within. Prince or chief leader with power to protect the energy and springs of life flowing. The leader chief here has energy to protect, Gimel, providing all the energy necessary for anything. Anyway, and the idea of protection comes from the Yod. Princess or royal woman who is the vine, the source of the fruit of endless energy and life flowing. That I also saw because I can take the word Sarai and add the Gimel to it. So if I looked at just the letters themselves, then I ended up with sanctified, purified elders, prophets, matured people flowing the energy, power of the vine under protection and manifesting miracles. Sanctified, purified mind with the ability to divide and separate, make decisions, and remove obstacles. So when I tried to consolidate all this, I ended up with elevated, mature human, watered from the wellspring of endless life and energy within, protected from the source. You're protected by the source, removing obstacles on the path, making decisions with discernment, and manifesting miracles. That's the gist of what I got out of the Seragim. So it's a different understanding if you're used to saying we're the Nazarene. This is a different understanding of being the branch on a vine. Okay. And you must abide to bear fruit. So we're now going to look at the word for abiding, which is Ayin Mem Dalet. It's right here in blue. Okay. So it's Omed or Amad, depending upon the vowel pointing. Here's your Strong's numbers, and I've the one that they pointed to in this verse is in blue right here. Basic meaning: to stand, to lean against, to place, to load, impose taxes, continued, persisted, remained. He arranged in columns, paginated, was nominated as a candidate, to estimate, to value, standing place, position, to tie and bind together, to stand, remained, endure, take one's stand, to be presented, withstand, establish, appointed. Okay, so stood, stand, appointed, endure, remain, withstand, present. You see the idea of abideth is in here. But that doesn't give us the whole understanding of taking your stand, standing in your place. Your place is to be connected to that vine in order to abide. He's going to help you to stand, to endure. Okay. I got down here, 42 miscellaneous meanings. That was a red flag for me. And then one of the definitions in the vowel pointing ended up with me, by me, upon me against me. And I was like, I consider that to be, I would go look at those verses myself. Okay, we have another 3-letter word. So now we're going to look at what components we can find in it. And we have Ayin Mem, those first 2 letters, and that means flock, tribe, nation, people, kindred, countrymen, those that are related, kinsmen, your relatives. Okay. We also have mem dalet, the last two letters, that means a garment, clothing. Measure the height and width, the armor of something, judgment, raiment, stature. I thought that was interesting. And then if we do the seed concept, we have an ayin dalet on the outside holding the mem. And there we have a witness able to provide testimony and a recorder. So this is what's inside the abiding word. So that brings forth some meanings with the components and the last letter that's left off. We have the people, a tribe or nation of the doorway, the pathway, who made the same decision. The fruit of judgment, watching over, seeing the garment or armor. The garment of discernment, mental and spiritual abilities. We have the witness and testimony to the water within, to what was carried in the innermost being. The witness and testimony to what was, Father put inside you. What was the word that was imparted that you nurtured on the innermost part of you? Okay, so when I come to a sentence, I came to a people who are clothed with the same garment of armor, spiritual and mental abilities and discernment, giving testimony and bearing witness to that which is within them on the path of decisions. That is how I pulled all that together. Now, this abiding word is in 1 John 2:19. It says continued with, but it's abide. So I want to read this because these are important verses for the understanding of abiding. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. That's the abiding. If they had been of us, they would have no doubt abided with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Okay, so there's the abiding. 2 John verse 9, whosoever transgresseth and abideth not in the doctrine of Yahusha hath not Elohim. He that abideth in the doctrine of Yahusha, he hath both the Father and the Son. This is a really important verse. And here's the abiding. Okay, so in Matthew 22 is the parable of the wedding feast. And remember that there was a guest there that did not have on the proper garment and was cast out by the king. So the abiding word here actually provides a garment. There's a garment meaning to the mem dalet. And I thought it was really interesting. I thought, okay, so the abiding in the true vine provides the proper garment. No abiding in Yahusha, no garment for the wedding. That's how I looked at that. Thought I would share that. Okay, now to the application of this. So we've been through the 4 words. So let's review the parable now, and I'm going to put the meaning in here so it can sink in. The seed of the word implanted deep within us, and we need to chew on it. The word, the color coding here is we have a word for the Son, the Father, the Ruach HaKodesh, and you. It says, I am the true vine. And that word for true right there is emetz. It's the emetz vine, the vine of truth. It's the true, endless flowing springs of energy and words full of life. For maturing to fruition, that kind which was brought forth, you, being gathered together, you, and lifted up on wings. That's the vine. He's the true that experience. He's the true one that will provide you the words of life. He's the true one to bring you to maturity and lift you up. Okay. And my Father is, I'd rather say the vine dresser. My Father is the highest, chief, supreme being that cares for, measures, tends, and supports the innermost place of you. We're that word, that good soil, the things in the deepest place of you where you connect in the spiritual reality. Father is caring for that. Father is caring for the place where you attach to the vine. It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now, we are clean. Now, ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. And the word is truth. The truth that sets you free. He's the true vine. He's the one that the truth flows through. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except you abide in the vine. That's in him. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. Now, I see the Ruach as the connection, the standing place, the Ruach Emetz, because that Ruach Emetz is the comforter that Yahusha said Father would send when he returned. Okay? The one that will bring you into remembrance of everything he said. It's the Ruach of truth. And so he says he's the true vine. So the abiding are the people who wear the same garment of armor, spiritual, mental abilities, and discernment. The same people with the same garment giving testimony and bearing witness to that which was within them on their path of decisions. Okay. On the path with Yahusha. Next verse. I am the vine, ye are the branches, ye are the seragim. It doesn't say not serene. Ye are the elevated, being brought to maturity, mature humans, watered from the well spring of endless life and energy within you, protected from the source, from the vine dresser, who's caring for that connection, removing obstacles on the path, making decisions with discernment, and manifesting miracles. Seragim. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. If ye abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them, and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If ye abide in me, and my words in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Now, I didn't finish John 15, but this is the section that has the words that we're dealing with today. So I pray that you would meditate on this page and add in the comments things that were brought to your mind while you were watching this video. The next video in this series is going to address more the question that Joshua asked me about what it means to bear fruit. We're going to look at the words for bearing and fruit. This is still in the part of John 15. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So we're going to look at all the words that mean bear and all the words that mean fruit. It was a really interesting exercise, and that's actually where I started out when my husband asked me this, but I decided to go backwards and say, we really should define husbandman, vine, branch, and abiding too, to really get the full picture and understand all the parables. So we're going to help us have all that more joy down here at the end of this section and be standing taller in Yahusha by the end of this series. I can definitely will share that with you. I hope you enjoyed this word study and have a deeper understanding of who you are and need to abide in the doctrine of the Mashiach, Yahusha HaMashiach, Emmanuel. If you enjoy word studies like this, please subscribe and consider taking classes in our Ancient Language Academy. They are online. You can take them by yourself at your own pace or join a live class to learn Paleo Hebrew. Links are in the description. To help ensure others get this message, please click like and leave comments for us. I appreciate your time. I know it takes time to do this, but it helps support our channel, and our ministry is not advertised as much unless we get them. You could go check out our online store where we have calendars and we make items with unique Paleo Hebrew designs on them. You might enjoy that. Come check out our community, which has free courses for those in the way, including a new one on discernment training, which is so badly needed in these end times. Have a blessed, beautiful day. Shalom.